Hello everyone and welcome back to the Snapshot world, and here in the Snapshot world today we are going to be covering 21W05A. And if we take a look, these are all the new blocks that are in 21W05A, and we're going to go ahead and start out with the Azalea bushes and leaves. So if we look here, there is the bush and then there's the flowering variant. And if we go ahead and take a look at these are the same height as a normal block. And if we take a look at the new blocks that I just placed, this is the rooted dirt. That's pretty cool. It's kind of a new texture on dirt. It's got some roots in it. I think it's just the dirt texture with roots over it. And then here is our moss block. I think this is going to be a great block, especially since it has a variant called moss carpet. So if we go ahead and grab a torch, and we place it down underneath, we can place that underneath moss carpet, and this kind of blends in with grass, especially if you layer that over it. You can hardly tell it's there. What the heck? Wandering Trader's just interrupting my video. And now if we go ahead and look at the Azalea leaves, these kind of remind me of jungle leaves, and yeah, if we go ahead and place some jungle leaves next to it, it's kind of similar to jungle leaves. And next thing we're going to cover is we're going to go ahead and place some hanging stuff, because we actually got a bunch of hanging objects. So this is the hanging roots. So these will hang from the ceiling from anywhere that you place them, and they'll probably spawn in naturally eventually. They're just kind of a decoration item, I think. They might make the rooted dirt. I have no idea. Then if we go ahead and place these are the low berries. So these will eventually grow over time, just like the snowberries do that spawn in spruce forests. So I think this is pretty cool, especially since, I mean, look at it, it's amazing looking. And if you use bone meal on them, they will grow, and if you right click them again, they will pop off just like the snowberries do. And no, you cannot climb these vines, not like the ones you can in the nether, so that was expected, but I mean, still, this is quite a nice addition. And now, as we can see, we're completely trapped in, so there shouldn't be any outside light coming in, but these are producing light. And it does look like they're producing a light level of 14, which actually is almost, I think that's one light level under a torch maybe. So that's actually pretty bright. It's a good light source, and honestly, pretty easy. As long as you find one, you can make an infinite amount. So this might be a new light source. It's very pretty. It's a good looking light source. So that's a very good thing about these. And the next hanging block that we have is the Spore Blossom. So this thing will drop particles all around it, which I think is one of the main selling points that it had when we were looking at this at is it Minecon? I don't even remember what it's called anymore. You cannot right click it with bone meal. That doesn't do anything to it, but it does drop these little particles, which I think is pretty neat. It's really pretty. I'm not sure if it has a use though, so we'll have to figure that out sometime. All right, and then the next addition, which is probably going to be the most functional addition, is the DripLeaf block. And as we can see, if we go ahead and stand on it, it falls. And then I could jump over here, and it's kind of like a parkour block. So if we stand on it, will it just fall anyways? No, you have to stay standing on it. What about, okay. So yeah, it's only as long as you're standing on it for the full duration that it'll actually fall. And with this comes small DripLeaf, which I seem to not be able to place. So the small DripLeaf is a variation of DripLeaf that needs to grow underwater or on clay. So as you can see here, it's a 2-tall plant, which is really cool. And if we go ahead and plant it on clay, it doesn't matter where we do it. So if we go here and plant it, we can plant it above ground as long as it's on clay. And if you go ahead and stand on this one, it actually doesn't have a hitbox, so you can't stand on it. And you might be wondering about the big DripLeaf. Yes, those can be waterlogged, which is a pretty cool feature, I think. And here's some other news about the big DripLeaf. So this, if you shift on it, it will not fall. If you jump on it, it will not fall. These are intended features, but I feel like it should just do it a little bit slower, because, I mean, if this is supposed to be like a parkour block, it really isn't good if you can just stand here and shift on it and not have to go fast. Because it falls pretty fast if you're just going to stand on it, but if you can just stand on it forever, I don't know if that's really the most useful thing. And if you want to know how to make these grow taller, we'll go ahead and grab a piece of bone meal. And if we bone meal this, they will get taller, and you always have to bone meal the top part. If you bone meal this part down here, it does nothing. You have to bone meal the top part for it to get bigger, and it only goes up by 1 each time. You do have to use 1 piece of bone meal every time that you want to make these grow, but I mean, that's still pretty good considering how good these are going to be. And one thing to note about the DripLeaf is if you shoot a projectile through it, and I guess it has to be the top one, it will actually break. So this could make for some interesting traps or something, I'm not quite too sure. And something very unfortunate is you cannot put layered snow on this, because if you could, then you could put 1 layer of snow, you'd be able to fall through, and then it would go back up, and it would be like a secret entrance. So if someone was just walking over it, they wouldn't know. But if you had a layer of snow on there, you could just fall through. So that's something unfortunate about that. I was really hoping you'd be able to put layered snow on there. And here is one of the more smaller changes, but probably one of the more major changes in the patch notes. If we go here, you can actually see that this is able to be pushed, and this is the powdered snow, which I can show you right there. And before it would just break if it got pushed by a piston, but now it actually will get pushed. So this is going to lead to some pretty crazy stuff, I'm pretty sure. So stay tuned. I think I got a redstone invention coming up. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this snapshot video. Let me know what you think about these changes in the description. I think this is probably one of the coolest ones because I love green blocks. So I'm excited. This looks super cool. I like the moss blocks. I like the Azalea bushes and stuff. I'm kind of like not too sure about, but that's gonna make for some nice decoration. I know it is. And I think the rooted dirt is pretty cool. I think it's gonna be pretty nice to build with. It'll add for some variation in your builds, but other than that, have a nice day, everybody. Until next time.